We played 100% of Schedule 1. Join us as we journey from humble beginnings to the kings of the street, treating our customers with the utmost respect as we go.
Interest you in a free sample, matey? Blaze that.
We need to earn over $10 million, purchase everything we physically can, and most importantly, rise to the top whilst gathering 11 achievements along the way. This is the story of Fumble Farm. Our journey begins as we awaken our RV. Not the lavish lifestyle we craved, but it was better than nothing. So we chopped our plant, watered it for later, and packaged what we'd harvested, before setting up a few small deals on our phones. Luckily for us, our Uncle Nelson also wanted to head to town, so we borrowed his car and took off.
Uncle, give me the keys. Uncle, drive.
With the police prowling, we handled the 3 deals quickly.
Boom, deal completed with Andy.
I've got Doug.
Right, come here, Joe. Take the good stuff, mate.
But just as we were grabbing some more soil, our first search began.
Oh fuck, there's a cop outside the thing. Oh, he's searching me. Oh no. Click and hold an item to conceal it. Fuck.
We got lucky this time, but we couldn't keep pushing it. So we quickly grabbed the package for Unc before hitting the road and getting out of there. We didn't want to attract any more attention than we'd already got. After arriving at our ranch, we planted our next seed into the soil we watered earlier and spoke to Uncle Nelson as the evening drew closer. And after an honest day's work and our worries put to rest, it was time for bed. Another normal day was over, except it wasn't. We were abruptly awoken by noise of sirens surrounding the RV. And with the sight of Uncle Nelson in cuffs, we turned the ignition on and got out of there as fast as we could. This town was too small and risky to build anything of significance, so we took off to the big city to accomplish our big dreams. Rip Unc.
Rip Unc, man.
After running all night, our RV found solitude in the woods just outside of town. With Nelson gone, at least we had the RV. But with all the escaping capture behind us, we could finally take some time and look at each other for the first time.
Who's this? Colin, brother! Oh god, don't turn around.
The ragtag team of 4 had arrived. Tempers flared quickly though as Matt took a tumble. Oh! I killed Matt, which was a hospital bill we couldn't afford right now. But with Uncle Nelson only a phone call away, he came to the rescue once again, providing us with some cash stashed around town, so it was on us to get it. And you know the term, let's lay low until we're set up. Well, Matt took it to heart, deciding to punch a cop straight in the mouth.
Oh, why'd you punch a cop?
Get off him. Yeah.
Clearly still annoyed. And in the chaos, Matt and Kieran got away.
Unc's got a taser in here. I'm coming, Matt. I'll get him.
And I dragged the body into the sewer, which left Colin to hit more cops and get shot at.
Beat his ass! Beat his ass! Beat his ass! Oh!
Escaping by the skin of his teeth.
He's in here! Police!
So let's not do that again. But there's always a consequence for action, as we just escaped near capture. An explosion rang in the distance.
What the fuck just happened?
What the fuck just blew up?
And just like that, we were down to nothing. Our 2 only constants had vanished in mere hours. Turns out it was a gang trying to set the tone, but we weren't going down lightly.
Oh no, there's a note. Welcome to Highland Point. This is our territory. Don't interfere.
So we spoke to Nelson before hiring a hotel room to gather our thoughts.
Oh yeah, oh, look at this. Oh, look at how sick crib.
This was our fresh start. So we played some Pong and got an early night where the journey could truly begin. Cramming 4 men into 1 bed wasn't ideal, but we awoke on day 3 motivated to get some real progress going. So we took off and met Dan at the hardware store, purchasing a grow tent, soil and a watering can. Just in time for Kieran to spend over half our budget on a shitty skateboard.
Oh, is it shared money? Sorry, boys. Just bought this for
$75. Skateboard.
What a cunt, bro.
Which barely even worked. Prick. But we set up our first grow tent in the motel before speaking to Uncle Nelson, who taught us about dead drops, where we can order product seeds to plant and begin selling.
What the fuck is happening?
Oh, she got a wrench!
So Colin ordered 9 OG Kush seeds, but we had some time to kill, so I nearly got caught by the police again, but I managed to escape.
Oh, parkour, come on.
We picked up the dead drop, walking as innocently as we could home, where we planted and watered our first seed. Kieran then grabbed some more equipment from Dan the man, and all that was left to do was to clean up the room, place down our new packaging station, and begin packaging our first product. And with 8 baggies full, we listed them for the potential clients. Even though we had been knocked down multiple times, Fumble Farm had arrived and we were here to stay. Jessie was the first customer and she paid handsomely, so we organised the deal and then locked it in. And then the floodgates opened. So we headed back to Dan the man to stock up on more supplies, supplies for the incoming customers. Colm spearheaded the second and third grow tent expansion. We sent the skateboard man out to deal with Austin so he could throw some hoops before getting business done. And with further deals with Kyle and Sam knocked down, it was time to check in with Nelson, who told us about an opportunity we couldn't afford to waste. For $800 we could upgrade our motel to something bigger and more permanent, but we needed 10 customers to do it, so it was free sample time. Donna wasn't fucking with it sadly, but Chloe was, and that started us off. So we spent our evening setting up more deals and giving out more free samples. I decided to try secure our 10th customer early in Ludwig. He was a guaranteed target. All we had to do was not fuck it up.
Blaze it.
No, you ruined my deal. You ruined it.
I hate him. Peggy then also rejected me, which didn't end well for her or the other witnesses nearby.
No fucking witnesses, Lucy. Did you just put her in the cash for trash box? You might want to put her in there as well.
We couldn't let our secret get out, so we got in a rhythm, planting and growing more product, completing any deals we could, and giving samples out where we could. Geraldine Poon ended up being our 10th customer, meaning our client base was big enough to unlock the room above the Fat Dragon Chinese restaurant. So after some evening deals to push our money up and ordering a second dead drop, I withdrew our cash and purchased our first property from Mrs Ming, and it was home. So we spent the night moving all of our equipment, and just like that, we had already made our mark in our first 5 days. So we spoke to Nelson, who told us that we could use our customers to push more products for us, but we ignored this for now, as we were focusing on upgrading our new home. Our first upgrade was made by Kieran, who grabbed some sour diesel, a new product that we could grow and sell for more profit along the way. But enough of that. We added more grow bays to the China shop where a star began to emerge. Colm took the role of being our main runner. He would complete deals, allowing us three to help when needed, but mainly just upgrade our base.
Hold on. Watch me cook.
However, he would quickly run into a problem. We had no OG Kush and too much sour diesel, which we hadn't even started selling yet.
Oh, shit. I didn't realise we didn't have any OG.
So we worked at growing and getting more seeds and upgrading our base for all of day 6. A rather routine day indeed. Apart from a late night police chase that we got caught in, we weren't exactly great at staying under the radar, I'll admit. This process carried on into day 7. We needed to build friendly status with our customer base to progress, so we worked on completing deals quickly, including Mrs Ming, our own landlord. Whilst making regular runs to Dan the Man to stock up on supplies and planting new plants throughout the day, we also made sure to clean the streets for money when we could, doing our part for society, and balancing out our karma, which we lost instantly by continuing to antagonize the police.
Fuck off. Oh, he's shooting!
But a very productive day all the same, gaining more reputation and money to complete our first week. Due to high demand, Matt joined Colm today in running some deals. As we were beginning to see increased orders after listing our second product, Sour Diesel, we decided to expand into Granddaddy Purple seeds today, so we ordered a dead drop for them. Also managing to get friendly with enough people to unlock Benji Coleman, the first man who would join Fumble Farm, as a dealer. But that was a tomorrow job, as Kieran had purchased a mixing station and some supplies with our increased cash flow, leading to some, well, particular products that we could sell in the future.
Tokyo Urkel, this column. Let me just bag this up for you, boss. It turned him white!
He's white and bald.
We were enjoying this rare evening off, but it did remind us of the dangers of leaving your door open, as Keith just roamed a bit too close for comfort, so we dealt with him, injuring Kieran in the process.
Who the fuck is that?
Keith.
He's seen too much.
He's seen too much. Oh, wait, no, he said he really needs some of the stuff. He said he really needed some.
Turns out Keith was desperate for some of our product, but we erred on the side of caution. So after the festivities were up, we loaded some Granddaddy Purple into new jars and headed to bed. Kieran's head was still aching from being lamped by someone in the commotion. After some effort, we woke Kieran up. Definitely a concussion, but we couldn't risk sending him to the doctors, so back to it he went. Colm went back to some early morning deals, which left Kieran to recruit the first member of the team, Benji, the dealer who would bring us more cash flow in the long run. So we stocked him up with a variety of products and assigned him some regular customers to deal with. And with Benji on the streets, Nelson told us about mixing.
You might have noticed you can buy different weed seed strains from Albert, but you can create even more unique ones with a mixing station. We're ahead of the game here.
But I was already knee-deep in that process.
Oh, I just made Granddaddy arse.
So we were then sent to the real estate agents, where Colm was shown some potential property upgrades for us.
We can get a bungalow for 6k. We can get a barn for 25k. We can get a warehouse at the docks for 50k. Or we can buy a business. We can get a laundromat for 4k, post office for 10, car wash for 20, and we can buy taco ticklers for 50k.
So it was time to earn some money. We solely began selling Granddaddy Purple for profits and set up some deals before heading to bed. Once again, Colm hit the streets with Benji to complete some deals, and whilst out, Nelson rang us and told us about a local hotspot for selling some luxury items.
Your best bet for getting tools you need for the warehouse.
But we had to wait for that, so we worked on upgrading the China shop, adding more storage and grow beds ready for the increased demand for our products.
Why is there a guy with a knife chasing you?
But evening fell and it was time for us to head to the warehouse.
Oh, fuck! Come over here. Stand under the bus stop, spam the space bar, and then step off and click it as you step off.
Oh shit. Oh my god.
What the fuck?
Inside it was a dream come true. We could purchase weapons to defend ourselves alongside some advanced growing tools, but mainly we could hire workers.
What's good, blood?
Botanists would manage planting and growing products, cleaners would pick up rubbish, handlers would be in charge of packaging the products, leaving chemists to cook products we hadn't seen yet. So we hired our second employee, Charles the Botanist.
Hey, Charles the Botanist is outside our gap.
So with some more supplies and Charles acquired, we headed to bed. Progress was coming thick and fast. Our next quest was to unlock the chemistry station, but we wanted to increase our operation size before then, meaning the bungalow. So we were going to take some time to get our Granddaddy Purple business flowing before taking that on. I set Charles up in the China shop with his wages at the motel, and after assigning him to some grow beds, he was off to work.
Yeah!
With this though, seeds would be a problem. Luckily, Kieran found the solution quickly as Albert had set up a little lemonade stand. So he spent $2,000 on more Granddaddy Purple seeds, which would keep Charles going for a while, as we had stocked him up full of supplies. So with Colm bringing thousands in,
Josh, you little fucking slag, come here.
and the China shop at maximum efficiency, we tried some of my own personal mixes before heading to bed.
I've got Dark Ghost, and you've got the big one.
Oh my fuck.
What's
I'm
happened to
rapid
me?
as shit.
What's happened to me?
As you can see by our finances, we had gone all in on the upgraded China shop. So with the bungalow as the next goal, we had to make around $6,000 to buy it, and a couple more thousand to kit it out. So it was time to work. Colm did his thing whilst we helped Charles and packaged the new product, stopping in to resupply Benji with our new jarred products. And that was that today. Rinse and repeat. And we had made our way over 3,000 to end day 12. The work continued into day 13, where we birthed one of the scummiest strategies. Kieran decided to follow Colm on his deals today, pickpocketing our product back each time and anything else he could get, but it surprisingly worked, so they spent all day doing it.
Oh my god. Me and Colm are running the dirtiest operation here.
Where Kieran dropped off his stolen products to Benji, collecting another 1,000 from him as well. Other than that, we purchased some more seeds as Charles was cooking. We stocked up his supplies and packaged products for tomorrow's deals before heading to bed, earning another few thousand along the way. Time to upgrade. Day 14 followed the same trend. We'd send Colm and Matt off on their deals, seeing if they could pickpocket anything back along the way. I'd vandalize whatever I could get my bat on, alongside doing some pickpocketing to balance it out. Kieran and the rest of us would clean around town as well as our China shop to maintain our reputation. And when evening came around, we went to purchase the upgrade I mentioned yesterday, the bungalow. But the real estate place was shut.
Let's get the bungalow.
From who? It's over. Time's gone.
He shuts at 6.
So we did some preparation for tomorrow before turning in for the night. Time to move up on the property ladder for real this time. Colm dropped in and purchased a bungalow for 6,000 big ones before he went on with his deals, leaving me to enter for the first time, and the space we now had would be incredible for the business moving forward. So we went shopping at Dan the Man's for some new equipment. The plan was to continue our Granddaddy Purple business, but just to expand it for more profit. So we placed our new Packager Mark II alongside our increased storage shelves. Next, we grabbed some stuff from the China shop to place 16 new grow tents in our official grow room. And after getting the final layout sorted, all we had to do was move Charles the Botanist over, but he wouldn't leave. He'd grown attached to the China shop and, more importantly, Mrs Ming, so we had to honour his wishes. But this would turn out to be a good long-term move for the future of the business. We left Colm to work as it was more upgrading on day 16. We put Charles's bed back in his China shop before Kieran purchased a load of seeds, whilst I restored the China shop to its former glory. Kieran then stocked the bungalow up with seeds, and the final step was workers, which we needed to buy at the warehouse. So we purchased a chemistry station and a lab oven alongside 2 botanists and a handler, introducing Susan, Justin and Jesse.
Jesse. It's fucking written, mate. Jesse.
Jesse. Oh god, he looks more like Heisenberg there. What the fuck?
So we slept as tomorrow it was time to put the bungalow to work, which was nice timing as we just unlocked a new region downtown, where more customers awaited us. Kieran dropped the new lab oven and chemistry lab down for a future experiment before we put our 2 locations in motion. Charles was back to work, so we stocked his briefcase up full of money and headed to the bungalow crew next. And after some clipboard organising and all the payments were sorted, the trio were off to the races. Justin, however, was just holding out for some product to package. Meanwhile, Colm handled the streets with care, stocking Benji up with more product and cleaning and dealing his way around town, stopping by the casino for some light-hearted fun to end his day.
I'm gonna take the loss.
The first product was beginning to show itself this morning, so Colm scooped it up for his morning deals. We had unleashed a demon, leaving Charles alone with Mrs Ming, as his output had skyrocketed, so I brought it back for packaging at the base. We continued optimizing our setup by reallocating Benji's customers closer to his motel room for easier distribution. And remember when I said Colm had been cooking? He'd been forgetting to actually pickpocket the items back after beating the minigame. Idiot. So we kept our inventory stocked high and messaged Shirley about expanding our product base to end day 18. Day 19 started in an explosive way. Kieran picked up some low-quality Suedo and came to the bungalow to attempt to make our first batch of meth, reminiscing on his school days, failing to heat the Bunsen burner properly.
This is horrible. This game's horrible. This is a horrid game.
Why?
Because you have to turn the Bunsen burner up and then keep it in the fucking... in the...
Oh, you blew up! Which didn't end well. Matt and Colm continued their fine work though, making deals alongside attracting new customers into our growing clientele. And as 6 PM came around, we headed to the warehouse to stock up on some more ingredients, where Kieran avenged his earlier fumble, placing a successful batch on before we turned in, opting to pay the hospital bill from earlier, blaming a nasty fall instead of a drug-related explosion to avoid suspicion. I started to cook today. I first pickpocketed some horse semen and mixed it with some Granddaddy Purple, creating mega puke. So I then mixed that with Viagra for an extra kick, making Tokyo cock. So I then added gasoline, a little Red Bull, some paracetamol, creating dark cock, and a bit of mouthwash to give it an aftertaste, creating Afghan Urkel, worth $115 a pop. So I threw in some cuke and a donut for the final blend, ice cream sharp. So me and Kieran, my sous chef, took off to get ourselves a new customer, Philip.
Have some ice cream sharp. 70% chance.
He's gonna fucking love that shit. I can already feel it. Oh, his head's getting bigger.
And he got fatter.
And our first mix went down a success, so it was something to remember for the future.
He's off to casino now and put it all on black.
Oh, so am I.
I then tried to make some more meth, failing miserably.
Oh no. I see what you mean about... Oh, God.
And other than us two, Matt and Colm continued dealing. And later on, Kieran hired us a chemist to prevent any more hospital bills. So we set him up when Nelson rang us, telling us that we couldn't keep funneling money into ATMs as it was a bit suspicious, so we needed to buy some more legit businesses to launder money out of. So with our success beginning to mount higher and higher, we headed to bed. Kieran took off from the team today with myself.
Ollie over the car, just for vibes.
And for a humble $4,000, we purchased a laundromat, the next step on our way to an empire. So we checked it out.
This is it. This is lovely.
Learning we could deposit an extra $2,000 a day. We then wasted a whole day trying to use the motel for more profit, but we couldn't hire anyone there, so that was useless. Matt went to visit Molly today, our new dealer, who would be in charge of the Westfield district, and she was proving very useful, so he pocketed the $1,200 she had before also visiting and stocking up Benji with way too much product. But he was the OG, so we trusted him. Colm had added an extra packer at Charles's China shop for more efficiency, which he didn't need, but he was cooking all the same.
Oh shit, I'm under arrest.
Expanding our customer base into downtown, whilst keeping our old clients very happy indeed.
You stupid idiot.
Today, our first successful launder was completed alongside our first venture into selling meth, which wasn't amazingly successful.
Quality of the meth is poor.
Yeah.
Well, he accepted it, so... Fucking loser, and I stole it back from him. Neek.
So we opted to just give our dealers the product for some easier profits, sticking to our roots of Granddaddy Purple. And due to the mess at our bungalow piling up, Matt managed to input our 500th item into the cash for trash machine today. But we weren't going to stop cleaning the streets. We are the good guys after all. And then the day just turned into a maintenance day, restocking our shelves of supplies, making sales and transferring products from dead drops safely. Colm officially halted our meth selling today, leaving it with the dealers fully before making a huge upgrade which made him even faster. The golden skateboard for $1,500, but wow was it worth it. Probably the best purchase yet. And after some lengthy days recently, today was a lot simpler. Some dealing.
Come on, Eugene, hit that shit. This guy's a cunt, man.
Some cleaning, some restocking, and some smoking. A smooth day indeed, as we needed more capital to carry out our next steps.
Well, I just jumped the whole fucking bridge with a skateboard.
We were really in pursuit of our third dealer, Brad, but we needed to get more customers and improve our relationships with current customers. So I mixed some special blends to make our products irresistible, especially Pink Cock, which comes with a side effect of gingivitis. Our employees were also hitting incredible levels of productivity, so we had to consistently keep restocking them with seeds, jars, and soil. However, Charles was still the goat in my eyes, but we were concerned he was skimming some product for Mrs Ming, but we'll let him off for now. Matt ran around a bit, mainly managing our dealers, and Colm expanded our empire into the post office for $10,000, where we could launder an extra 4K a day, as money was starting to roll in quickly, where we next managed to recruit Brad, our third dealer. So we stocked him up and sent him to manage the downtown district for us.
I gave him 20.
Which is a subtle foreshadowing of our next great fumble. But we were none the wiser right now, so we headed to bed.
Oh my god, we're getting cuffed!
We had hit the rank of Bagman 1 overnight, which motivated us even more.
Is he toting that shit? Yeah. Trent's happy with that one.
And for now, the fumble I mentioned earlier had only just begun to spread, but it wasn't noticeable yet, so we'll come back to it later. And for what we actually did today, Colm did his usual great work, but the three of us had a stinker.
Oh no.
She fit really well, to be honest.
Mainly spending it mixing new strains of product, and of course testing them out on ourselves, which led to some strange outcomes.
It looks like the cheese string man.
Oh my god, I look disgusting.
It's gonna turn him black, innit?
Oh, yeah.
And an early night as our heads were hurting a bit. But Colm armed himself as his job got riskier day by day, so he needed some protection. He took his new piece out for a test drive today for his morning deals. Beth looked a lot more nervous, which helped him pickpocket her with ease, rescuing the product. The orders were getting larger, which was huge for our pockets as we craved expansion. We had a hold on the streets, which showed as our bungalow stock was becoming ridiculous, with the trio and Charles working overtime. I grabbed a dead drop today for more Suedo for our chemist, which left Kieran to cook up something special, adding cuke, Viagra, another cuke, some Red Bull, and some flu medicine to produce Fruit Dick, which we had to try.
Fruity dick. How's that feel? Are you athletic? Apparently it's athletic, it makes you fast as shit.
And amongst the chaos, Colm let his gun off for the first time.
Do it.
Just because you're the fucking dealer, mate, but you can fucking throw that shit about.
You are me too.
In our top secret bungalow. Not ideal. Now for some reason our deals were beginning to slow down. At a critical point too, as we needed the money. So we lowered the price to try and counteract this. And with nothing really to do due to the lack of deals, Matt got a face tattoo. I checked out the realtors, setting my sights on the barn next. Colm was having withdrawals from not selling anything, so we played basketball to calm him down. And in the evening, Matt gave Kieran Squidward Suicide, our most potent mix yet.
So, oh my god, smoke that Squidward
That's a
Suicide.
bit of me, this. I'm 4! Bring me Thanos!
We still only had a couple of deals from our most loyal customers today, so we took care of them, but we were really beginning to overflow with stock at this point, which was a problem. So we made it worse by restocking our 2 locations with more supplies for further growing, and then our fumble dawned on us. We had 24 customers available, and all 24 were covered by our dealers.
Benji already beat me to it. Fucking hell, Benji.
Notice our problem started when we hired Brad. They were effectively sharking our sales by 20%, so Kieran and Matt took it out on Geraldine,
Fucking broke it.
where he then cooked a devious mixture of white gold, which we had to try.
This is called white gold. Smoke that one up, cowboy.
Oh, your head's on fire.
Whilst Colm took the majority of our customers back from the dealers, which was a big move for the future.
When you ask bro for a white monster, but he doesn't pull down his pants.
Colm was back in full swing as our customers began to flow back in. We could utilise the dealers fully later, but right now with our numbers we needed to make as much money as possible. So with the wind back in Colm's sales, I packaged our overflow of product in the motel. Matt helped Colm run deals and Kieran found the clothes shop. And after all that we were left with $36,000 in the bank. Our laundering businesses were beginning to prove valuable, and with our uptick in customers again, it was time to start thinking about increasing our scale once again. We had to look the part for our upgrades though, so Colm got a new trim and the whole team got some fresh threads to join Kieran, as a huge day was ahead.
Oh yes, man, the black vest. Oh wow. What is this River Island's final boss here?
He's like the mafia boss.
So I went with Kieran and purchased our brand new barn for $25,000. A huge investment in our future, and it paid off straight away. So to facilitate our big plans for this place, we also purchased a van to help us move things around easily, which took our net worth over the $100,000 mark, which was insane to say we started in an RV. So we took the new van for a joyride and got it stuck immediately. So I guess we can start moving to the barn tomorrow. Kieran took off to the mechanic today to rescue our van before our plans began. Now I had seen a gorgeous design whilst doom scrolling on the toilet, so we had to borrow it for our barn. So we hit up this gas mart to begin calculating how much this 8-step mixture fully automated cocaine farm would cost us. Turns out it was an absolute shit ton. So we started small, buying and adding the beds and storage shelves before hitting up the warehouse for some more risky product. Buying and adding some mixing stations, some suspension racks, upgraded pots, brick presses and full spectrum grow lights. It wasn't everything yet, but it was a huge start. So we set it all up in the barn and it was looking glorious before we headed to bed, excited for what tomorrow would bring. Overnight we had reached Enforcer 1, unlocking the docks as a new region. Perfectly timed as well, as this was where we could unlock the white stuff, which would be our main product to go alongside the Granddaddy Purple. So we started selling and giving out free samples as we needed to become friendly with them all first, leading to busy days for Matt and Colin. And back at the barn we added more storage, bins and lights, before we had to spend our day reorganizing and stocking up the bungalow and china shop, as they had burned through all of their supplies, leaving us to return to the warehouse in the evening to purchase some more machinery, adding packaging stations, brick presses, drying racks and more mixing stations, which left the barn in an incredible spot. Now all we needed was some cauldrons and the supplies, but the problem was money, and more importantly, customer loyalty in the docks was not great, so Matt began mixing some special products to help fix that problem. Matt and Colin remained busy as for the foreseeable future. They just needed to make as many deals as possible, so we will leave them to it for now. The barn team were also at a point where it was all about waiting, so we took care of little chores we had left for now, where Kieran made a huge discovery, finding the delivery tab. So he placed orders for 320 gasoline and 320 cuke to go along with his 320 paracetamol he'd purchased earlier. Like I said, we were going all in on this place. Kieran sampled some product to fuel his morning where our deliveries arrived.
Oh, here we go.
So we packaged them into the correct shelves before we ordered 160 motor oil to be delivered, taking us down to less than $100 for now at least. Matt was mixing some specific strains today, allowing him to secure some extra customers for us.
Nice, Matt.
Colin had dropped me off 2 new cauldrons for the barn, so I positioned them correctly before unpacking some deliveries, including fertilizer for the soil and motor oil before we headed to bed. Very soon this barn would shoot us from the small time business to the big time. Just a little bit more patience and time was needed. Kieran ordered some horse semen and batteries today to be delivered, alongside some mega beans and baggies. And if you want the full list of our mixing items, it's on screen now, which will produce an 8-step mixture, which will have the town on strings once in circulation.
We're going to be mixing some deadly shit, mate.
Kieran then restocked our bungalow with jars and grabbed a spare 40 soil for the barn, before helping me with deliveries that had arrived. And in the evening we returned to the warehouse, grabbing some more supplies alongside assembling the start of our super team. The ultimate goal was to have 2 handlers, 3 botanists, 4 chemists and 1 cleaner, but unfortunately we didn't have the cheddar today, but we did grab the majority of them.
Oh, the squad's here.
Returning to slot in the remaining cauldrons and to be shown one of Matt's new mixes to end day 35.
Why is Matt a zombie?
Oh, Matt.
Matt and Colin kept moving products and samples, allowing us to keep funding our barn mega project. Speaking of which, we met the team for the first time today.
So we've got John, Amy, Kathy, Kathleen, Kenneth, Brian, and Donna. Is that the Donna we sell drugs to?
So I spent all day organising their pathing for when we were ready to begin. And sadly right now they're all unpaid, but at least we gave them a bed and a steady diet of cuke and paracetamol. So we tucked ourselves into bed, where we were so close.
Matt, get your pants back on.
Colin had once again dropped me off another present. No, not cauldrons, but people, in the form of the remaining chemists. So I worked on their pathing on my clipboard. Kieran was at the bungalow grabbing Matt's loose change, which ended up being an absolute shit ton. So he stocked up on Granddaddy Purple seeds and collected the money from our dealers, who were happy to have a lesser workload, as Benji especially had other hobbies, he said. Matt kept grabbing new customers, however no luck with the supplier for the docks region yet, so I kept working on organising the staff into the evening of day 37. I set the drying racks to purple, meaning premium quality on day 38, before tracking down Melissa Wood, as she knew the dealer, who would also be key for our future plans. But no luck, so back to the barn for me, where Kieran had a surprise for me with our new pink van.
3, 2, 1. Crack that shit. Oh, yeah.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
This is what I needed. Look at this shit.
Shit, what's she called?
Oh, we need to name the fucking... Oh.
I think it's a bit of a Beatrice.
Beatrice, I like that.
We took it to the only place suitable.
We're going to be disciplined and go see Charles right now.
Wait, I have 40 quid.
And with monumental efforts from Colum and Matt, Salvador, the supplier, was ours.
Oh, look, Sal. No, we got him.
So we set up our first dead drop with him for 10 coca seeds, needing to get him to a loyal friendship to meet up with him. So I paid in advance at the church as we were very trusting drug dealers before we all headed to bed. With the target of 120 coca seeds, we grabbed our first dead drop from the skate park.
Oh, here it is.
Well, that's obvious.
Before ordering our second dead drop. So we tried to kill time in the casino, but it was closed.
I need it.
So we let our anger out at the local gas mart after a failed pickpocket.
Oh no.
Ow. We then just repeated the process, paying for drops, collecting them, and then ordering more. Stopping to get Kieran some new threads.
Oh,
How do you like me now, eh?
you're cold of it, you.
Do you like my trim?
I thought that was part of that.
Alongside a healthy supply of gambling, of course.
800 quid of your hard-earned money. 16. Do I hit?
You always hit a 16.
Oh, we lost it.
Colum kept laundering where he could as he was gaining a small fortune. I say small, but as we went to bed, he had more money in cash than we did in the bank. So the dealer issue was officially behind us going into day 40. We still needed 40 more coca seeds to hit the magic number of 120. So we hit some more dead drops and always kept paying in advance. Like I keep saying, we're the good guys after all. I had to stop and get a fresh trim with the opening of the barn on the horizon, alongside replacing my flip-flops. The dead drops then led us to the casino, so you know we had to get involved.
I will be standing.
Stand. She's not getting it. Yeah, fuck you. Hold that pussy.
Actually managing to earn a cool $2,000 between us.
Oh yeah, I've gone from 100 quid to 1.5k.
Which would help pay the team's wages. Speaking of, Matt made sure our other employees were paid and then he dropped us off some money so that when we opened the barn, we could pay our teams for many days in advance. So we grabbed that, ordered another dead drop of coca seeds and headed to bed. Day 41 was a great one. Our dead drop grinding had paid off, as Salvador decided we were loyal friends today. So it would allow us to meet up with him in the future to purchase unlimited seeds from him, just as we picked up the last dead drop by the canal. So we took today to make final preparations. First buying a shit ton of Granddaddy Purple to stock up on Charles and Mrs Ming, as well as the Bungalow team, alongside some more soil and jars to keep them going for a while. Colum then unloaded some of his small fortune into the van for us to use, then getting back to dealing before spending his evening doing some packaging up in the china shop, with Charles to keep his mind calm. And here we are, the opening day of the barn. Kieran loaded up the money one by one into their briefcases and the rest of us watched the team get to work. So the process would start slow but ramp up when we get everything online. First though, it was over to the botanists to begin growing the coca leaves. So whilst they did that, me and Kieran hired our next dealer at the docks for $3,000 before getting the van stuck again. Great.
They don't think we've got technique like this.
Do we?
We do.
Bench! Uh-oh.
Jesse, get out of the way. Oh, fucking iron knees over here. Oh,
Never mind.
Oh, this might be curtains, this turn here. Come on, girl. Okay, we'll go get her unstuck at the auto place.
Other than that, I mainly watched the team to make sure I didn't fuck up the pathing of our employees, whilst Colum did his routine of dealing to our clients and placing money in to be laundered, where he added to our empire once again by purchasing a car wash for $20,000, allowing us to launder a lot more money each day. Colum then had more packing to do, which was becoming a slight issue. You see, our botanists were becoming too fast at making Granddaddy Purple, and Justin is a bit fucking useless at packing, as he moves at a snail pace, so Colum had to help out, which is not really efficient. But we weren't really doing much to help, mainly all just watching our employees work and playing human bowling with the ones not working. But we did get our first leaves today, which then went on the drying racks before being moved to the cauldrons to brew in there. But after kind of wasting a day of watching them, we opted to fix the problem of packaging, so we headed to the warehouse purchasing 2 new packaging stations alongside 2 new handlers at the bungalow, firing the chemist and tearing up the meth station that had brought numerous explosions and hospital bills along the way. So we welcomed Daniel and Emily to the snug bungalow setup, and spent the remainder of the night stocking up shelves and setting them up to work alongside Justin, meaning all Colum would now have to do is transfer the product from Charles's over to the trio of handlers. Problem solved if you ask me. And with the problem fixed, we went back to watching the workers like proud parents, as the cocaine was now being moved to step 4, the lab ovens. So in came the chemists.
Oh shit.
Oh my god, they're all rolling in.
Kieran did a huge supply stock up today, purchasing 150 Granddaddy seeds alongside a fuck ton of jars for the new handlers. And after some remapping, he had it all working smoothly and fully stocked up. And back at the barn, the lab ovens finished cooking, so now it was time to mix. And I'll run you through it once so we all know how it works. Cuke goes in first, making purple fruit, then some horse semen gets you Ultra McLovin, then we had some paracetamol to get some slimy splooge, then some mega beans to get death fruit worth $300, and then a dash of motor oil to give Big Diamond. Then a sprinkle more of Cuke to give Hairy Cum, and now for the grand finale, some more mega bean for Stinky Puke. And then the final ingredient, a battery to create the mega mixture worth over $700. Introducing Fumble Fungal, our custom strand built to take over the town. All the work from the RV was now paying off, so you know we had to try it, and fuck me, it was good.
Oh my goodness.
What is going on? This is the good shit, man. They're going to be loving this shit.
Good shit.
So good that it took up the rest of a monumental day on Fumble Farm. After coming down from that beautiful high, it was time to really start taking over. But we still, for now, had to take care of our main business as it was making plenty of money. Our net worth was creeping over $500,000 at this point, which would definitely make Unc proud. So Matt carried on dealing alongside Colum to keep raising that number even higher. And back at the barn, me and Kieran played with my new gun for a bit.
Have you got a gat in your hand? Don't fucking point it at me, man. I can deflect bullets. Go on.
Bat it back, yeah?
What, you fucking Superman?
Go on. You see that shit? Fucking hit me, mate. Keep firing, mate. Keep firing.
Before we too had to get to work. So we ordered some deliveries before listing our Fumble Fungal for the first time, and after the first deal, they were hooked. So Kieran returned to the barn to keep restocking the operation, and I kept selling people the truth. And sooner or later, they would all be paying extortionate amounts for a single bag of it. But first, of course, time for another fumble. We planned to try and sell both, as we couldn't let go of our Granddaddy Purple business that got us this far, so we opted to send it out to our dealers, opting to load them full of customers, and whilst we sold the Fumble Fungal, they would sell the Granddaddy Purple. But of course, it doesn't work like that, and our sales dried up for both immediately. So whilst deals were low, Colum snuck over and purchased our final laundering business, Taco Ticklers, allowing an extra $8,000 a day, which was huge. He then ran into Benji during one of his extra hobbies that he's always speaking about.
Oh my god, Benji, what you doing? You should be out dealing, mate, not wearing a police officer's uniform. Betrayal.
So for now, we knew what side he laid on. And in the meantime, Matt and Kieran restocked our buildings, whilst me and Colum carried out whatever deals we could.
Who the fuck is getting chased by the police right now?
Matt, say something cool as you're running away so we can put it in the video.
Dick butt.
Don't think that's making the final cut, unfortunately.
Today was the day that we removed the Granddaddy Purple from the market.
Oh shit. Ah! Oi!
And as the bungalow had clearly been compromised, Matt released the workers of their duties and off camera put them down. We couldn't have any leaks in the operation. It was not worth the risk. We did leave Charles though. He and Mrs Ming could live upstairs as his services weren't needed anymore. So Kieran visited the new pawn shop that had opened in town, alongside restocking the barn, whilst the three of us dealt to as many people we could find, which turned out to be a lot, and now money was becoming stupid, I can't lie. We were now raking in tens of thousands a day, so I treated myself to a little investment.
Is that a shit box?
You know the golden skateboard is quicker than that.
Yeah.
And Kieran decided to name the barn.
Fuck.
The Fumble Factoroy.
But later it would go on to be known as Charles's Barn to end day 47. The streets were truly beginning to become rather alien on day 48, and we were rewarded for this, as overnight we unlocked the Suburbia district, which meant more customers, and more importantly, these guys were a lot richer than our others, so the fungal was about to begin spreading even further. But we had to stop the spread of something else on day 48.
Alright, boys. Quick and clean, yeah?
With the bungalow crew out of commission, there was one more potential leak that could get exposed: the dealers. We had no need for them anymore, and we knew some of them kept strange hobbies, so we each took off with one target in mind. And as shots rang around town, it was Brad the first to fall.
Bro just got executed.
Then Benji.
Alright, I'm up.
Gotta make sure Benji don't get out.
I know what you've done, Benji.
Then Molly.
Hold that bitch. Oh shit, no witnesses! What? Oh my god, what the fuck?
And finally Jane.
Alright, let me finish the job.
This sent a shockwave through the town, especially to the police, who now had nothing on us. But to be safe, we moved our deals to the nighttime, which gave us a juicy 20% bonus on top of the base price, earning us $1,000+ per deal. So we recruited whatever new customers we could, and as night fell, we began to make our deals, spreading the fungal far and wide, also taking home upwards of $75,000 in one night. We felt free on day 49. With the dealers down and zero chance of a leak in our expanding operation, we kept attracting new clients. Colm decided to spruce his outfit up with our newfound success before getting straight back to it, giving out samples and setting up the nighttime deals, which left the rest of us to follow in his example, restocking where we could and carrying out our deals in the nighttime, where the police stood no chance of catching us. Another easy payday as we reached day 50. We continued to splash the cash into day 50. Remember, we wanted to own every vehicle and every building, so we purchased Colm his truck today, and it was beautiful.
I reckon it's Dinkler.
Or look, great minds think alike, mate. You've already fucking done it. Where is it?
There we go. Driver's aware. It's like a treadmill. It's like a treadmill.
But that was just the beginning, as me and Kieran headed into the realtors and purchased the final building.
You could buy it if you want, fuck it, and then
Yeah,
just,
no,
just
buy
stroke
it.
it
Yeah.
out.
I'm buying it. I don't care. Oh, let me say something cool to put it in the video. What should I say? The warehouse is ours, dude. Dude, that was so cool. That was so cool.
And our biggest investment yet, the warehouse. A large space to double our production alongside the barn. So of course we went to check it out whilst the day's deals rolled in, and it was glorious.
This is fucked.
Oh my lord.
So the plan was simple for us and you to understand. We're going to copy our barn setup because that's been working very well for us, and just fill the remaining space in there with more storage. But for now we needed more money, so we restocked the barn with what it needed, visited the new boutique that opened in town, and when night fell, did what we did best, stopping off at the warehouse to purchase the equipment to replicate our barn come tomorrow, to assist with the moving but mainly to continue expanding our car collection.
I'm gonna grab another vehicle if that's okay.
Kieran added his green bruiser to our collection, so he took it to Hank's to purchase the storage shelves we'd need for our warehouse, and that was it for the whole day. Colm kept the barn running smoothly, leaving me, Matt and Kieran to work on the warehouse setup. So we took deliveries, built the growing and mixing areas, added some cute lighting, and an absolute fuck ton of storage. And after a full day and night of work, it was complete and it was perfect. Other than that, Matt stopped off to purchase his new ride as well, completing our car collection bar one, and we did our nightly deals as usual. And when the shift ended, Matt purchased the 4 chemists, 3 botanists, 2 handlers, and 1 cleaner super team, which would assist us in running the warehouse for the foreseeable future. After a morning joyride, Matt returned to continue assisting Colm, who'd grown attached to the barn, consistently keeping it full of resources, which was yielding us tons of spare product along the way, which was good in case of any emergencies. Due to the new crew arriving at the warehouse, my day was taken up by routing them into their new positions, as Kieran drove the van back and forth stocking up the shelves ready for mixing. And whilst I worked on routing the new employees, it's worth mentioning the only difference in the warehouse is that we're aiming for gold standard instead of the usual purple standard quality, hopefully giving us greater profit margins moving forward. So we took care of our nightly business, earned another $50,000 and headed to bed, which is a pretty slow day for us now, but progress is progress. Beatrice took on a new colour today, so we celebrated by stocking her up on seeds for the warehouse. And once we'd stocked the shelves, we paid and started the employees to get them going, meaning the warehouse was underway and fully operational. So Kieran kept riding Beatrice around and filling the warehouse's supply shelves up, with Colm mirroring the process in the barn, with Matt going between and helping where he could, which left me. And I saw Eugene slyly scoping the warehouse out and taking photos, so when I saw him with his back turned trying to ring someone, we had to continue to send a message.
I'm sorry, little one.
Who did you just shoot?
Oh.
Who did you just fucking rattle? Was it out?
Yeah, brother just said, I'm sorry, little one. I heard a gunshot ring across the map.
Colm decided to break up the routine of caring for the barn today, so opted to smoke some of his personal mixtures.
The Flash!
And after his high fizzled out, we kinda just did the usual stuff. Restocked both businesses, but mainly just smoked our excess product, and played a few made up games to pass the time until it was dealing time.
Jump across to that.
He had to hit you in mid-air. Did you get you?
No.
Now, today, Colm and Kieran had heard rumours that some of our clients were being offered protection and a split of the captured product for free if we were caught. So they decided to take their morning, well, to remind people who's in charge.
Why is he at work? He's got nothing for sale.
Fucking let's go put him out of fucking business.
Oh my god.
Oh, look at this guy. Fucking, who's this cunt think he is? Oh, Shockman's here, is it?
I'm sorry, little one.
And when they'd fizzled out, it pains me to say it, and it brings a tear to my eye, but Matt was growing increasingly paranoid of that one remaining leak. No, not the dealers or the other employees, but Charles. So against our many protests, Matt ignored them and put his own mind at ease.
Time to put him down.
It's not Charles. No.
So we shot hoops all day and night in his honour, until it was time to deal and then head to bed. Our hearts heavy, but our pockets growing increasingly heavier. Now, as you've probably gathered up to this point, we'd unlocked pretty much everything, and now we were just kind of waiting for night to continue dealing. Then we'd launder and deposit money where we could. We'd conquered the streets and had the town under the spell of Fumble Fungal. So until we hit a more interesting day, we're gonna borrow a trick from the movies and TV shows and add a little... Around a week later, we awoke from our beds having hit millionaire status. With our consistent selling, we had finally cracked the elusive number.
Oof.
Oh.
Oof.
Yay.
What are you getting on the bed for, eh? Now you're a millionaire, you're getting your machete out.
Yeah. Fuck off.
Leaving only 9 more million to go for the big one. And it made us think back to the motel, the RV, and the story that has unraveled up to this point. But no story is complete without a fitting ending. But for that, I'm gonna have to do one of those time skip things again. And once again, after hours of grinding, we awoke in our warehouse to that all-important 10 million mark. Our net worth had reached the pinnacle.
Oh,
Thank God for that.
It's done.
Thank God for that. I actually hate the game now.
Same.
Matt was regretful of not sharing the moment with Charles. Kieran somehow went insane and lost all of his clothes in the past month. Colm looked like a cheap movie villain, and I wept every night for Charles's return, keeping a saucepan handy to catch them in. We had done it all, and we were going to retire whilst ahead. We now had all the cars, the buildings, and all the money in the world. So me, Matt, and Colm stayed back to begin packing our things and eliminate the employees of the warehouse, whilst Kieran headed over to the barn and take care of them before we made our exit from Highland Point. However, in our month routine of doing the same thing every day and night, we'd grown careless. Kieran was intercepted and the cops made their move.
What was that?
Which could only mean one thing. They had enough evidence to get us. Someone had snitched, but who? The employees were gone, the dealers, even fucking Charles was dead, so who? He was the only one. It had to be. Keith had seen it all and we let him walk in a moment of carelessness. And now we're about to pay the ultimate price. But we weren't going down without a fight. After running back to alert us, Kieran had grown tired and sadly was the first to go down.
I'm down, boys, I'm down.
Not dead, but he was quickly scooped up and put behind bars, down to 3. The rest of us fought on, but it was an old friend who took his hobby to a professional level and put me down.
Fuck you, dickheads.
Benji!
Oh, it's Benj Dog.
Oh my god.
No, I'm being cuffed. No, I got busted.
Leaving it down to 2. Colm found salvation finding the car and getting out of there,
You never catch me alive!
leaving Matt to his fate, which was only a matter of time.
Oh God, there's so many.
Meaning 3 of us had been arrested and 1 of us barely made it out. Colm then made his way back to the warehouse when the heat died down and decided to sleep it off. He was alone. Me, Matt and Kieran were sentenced to go work on a real farm for the rest of our days, but for Colm the whole operation was burned. So he loaded all the spare cash into his car and left. But he had one more stop before he could truly begin a new chapter.
The boys send their regards, Keith.
Alright, lads. We're making 50k a day. How long is this actually going to take us?
Probably a couple weeks.
It's gonna take a bit longer than that.
Yeah, it's probably going to take like 30 hours. I did find this though.
Ah. Oh, sick.
Yeah? We good? Run it?
Yeah. Yeah, we're good.
Wait.
What is that?
You little ricky.